The county board first stated that if all departments made 15% cuts, the county would have a balanced budget for 2020. I made those cuts. In fact, I made 18% cuts to the state's attorney's budget. I made those cuts in good faith. I made these cuts to help the county board. I made these cuts to help other departments, and I made these cuts to help the citizens of my county. The state's attorney's office is an income-generating department. Since January 1, 2009, the state's attorney's office has filed 711 criminal felony cases, 1,175 criminal misdemeanor cases, 632 DUI cases, 25,956 traffic cases, 206 child abuse neglect cases, 182 juvenile delinquency cases, for a total of 28,862 cases. With discretionary fines and public defender reimbursements, the average felony is around $3,000. The average misdemeanor is around $2,000. The average DUI is around $2,500, and traffic ranges between $120 and $300. Of these cases, Piatt County currently has 24 cases with the Illinois State Police Task Force 6 Drug Investigation Department. It has a total of 9 target cases currently. We are currently scheduled to be in the Task Force 6 for another 3 years. The full-time drug prosecutor position was created shortly after Piatt County became part of the Illinois State Police Task Force region. Convictions are obtained first through good police work, but also with the state's attorney's knowledge of the law and the state's attorney's office courtroom skill. Despite my good faith efforts to help with the budget problems, at the October 29th finance meeting, it was suggested by a member of the county board that the state's attorney's office should make cuts beyond the 18% that I had already made. It was suggested that my office should be cut by about 38%. Other departments within the courthouse that had not even met the 15% cuts were not mentioned to make additional cuts. The county board directed the chairman to meet with other departments about making additional cuts. Those departments were not specifically identified during this open meeting. The chairman did not meet with me about making cuts beyond the 18%. On November 3rd, this board voted to approve a tentative budget that included 38% cuts specifically to the state's attorney's office. Other courthouse departments were not even cut by 15%. This tentative budget includes a budget deficit of just under $400,000, and now there's a proposed tax levy asking the taxpayers to make up the difference. In addition, this budget leaves the county exposed to liability in the event of a serious emergency incident. The county board is not allowed to abuse its budgetary authority by disproportionately cutting the budget of one department and leaving other departments untouched without articulating objective reasons to support that decision. It is more difficult for the county board to articulate objective reasons when it arbitrarily cuts an income-generating department without first learning how those deep cuts will negatively impact the department's ability to generate that income. I do know this: at no time did the county board chairman inquire with me how a deep cut to the state's attorney's office would impact the operations of my office. There was no inquiry made how this deep cut would impact the income generation or the income generated by my department, or even whether my department generates income, where that income goes, or what offices that income helps to support. No inquiry was made about the specific work that the state's attorney's office does to generate the income, or how it is that the state's attorney's office is a department of public safety or a division of law enforcement. No inquiry was made about how a deep cut to the state's attorney's office could negatively impact the criminal justice system and the safety to the citizens of Piatt County. For the past 11 years, I have served the people of Piatt County with honesty, integrity, and I take that responsibility very seriously. That is why when the board said it was looking for even cuts by all departments to balance the budget, I took you at your word. We all swore a bond, to be honest. I did not anticipate that the state's attorney's office would be treated so disproportionately differently and leaving a budget deficit. And then the taxpayers would get stuck paying the difference. It has always been and will continue to be my greatest honor to serve the people of Piatt County with honesty, integrity, and transparency. All elected officials owe their constituents that much. And I do have a letter written by Haresh Patel. He is the owner of Subway in both Piatt and Monticello, and he had a robbery take place at both locations, I think in 2014, and we did a jury trial on both of those.